Cliff Miller. I represent Mr. House and Mr. Ferguson, who own the marina. So I just wanted to give those that are here an update as to what's happening on that. Scott, as you see, has taken my conceptual plan for that piece. It was originally how this happened, but we don't know quite how it happened. But it was originally commercial neighborhood zoning. Somehow got turned into agricultural open land use. We're now transferring acreage from northeastern Glades County to make this a residential piece. Then at some point in time, the new owners, once it's sold, will have to come in and put out parcels for commercial and or light commercial restaurants, etc., etc. Regarding your West Points is 374 platted units. It was not originally on the original 18-hole DRI for this piece. There were 18 holes under a development of regional impact. The original 18 holes followed along north of 80 and 7.5 holes in Glades County. Those additional 18 holes, or 9 holes that were added in Glades County were done without anybody's permission, without anybody's review, and we're just doing it. So recovery of West Points is pretty much a moot point. I've talked to Scott, I've talked to Mr. Crawford from the Regional Planning Council. I think we need, for lack of a better expression, I know this is worn out, to think a little outside the box here. I think we not only have to think about recovering this golf course and making a destination point for this whole thing, but to think of possibly a special planning district for all of Port LaBelle that encompasses Glades and Henry County. And that's all the way to, and may include the American Prime properties. If you're unfamiliar with American Prime, they own about 1,500 acres east of here. They've got comprehensive plan amendments in there to the Regional Planning Council and the DCA that would increase the densities and home ownership to about 17,000 just for that particular parcel alone. That's also a designated a possible area for a expansion and water retention for the South Florida Water Management District. So my belief is, instead of a ribbon or a corridor of commercial along State Route 80, how many times have you seen that and just said, geez, this looks awful? That we think about, that we really sit down. We have a unique opportunity. It's slowed down. Real estate has slowed down. We have some time. Okay, thank you.
Before you leave, so you're saying the what is it, West Point property is in fact not agriculture or not recreation?
No, they're getting an ag exemption by running counts on it currently.
Yeah, but all of that is not part of what was the last golf course?
No. The expansion of an additional 9 holes was not. They had 7 holes on the Glades County side, and it's actually land used as agricultural open. So if you look at the Glades County future land use map, for that portion, it's agricultural open, which essentially allows parks, recreation, RV parks, and recreational uses. So those 86 acres on the bottom portion of that, following the golf course, where'd you put that? For the original 7.5 holes is open use agriculture. Or
so
agricultural
that's
open.
1 unit for 20 acres.
1 unit per 20. They could build 120.
Okay, but
this area here is 374 platted units.
Yeah, how much of that was the golf course?
7.2, 7.5 holes. Something like that.
7 holes.
It's about 7 holes, 7 or 8 holes.
So there was a lot of land there that didn't have anything on it. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's about 86 acres, I think.
Okay.
Last 9 they built.
Last 9 was essentially built. I remember looking at some of the layouts for the original golf course,
right.
But it didn't follow what followed when they had 27 holes. Mm-hmm. But essentially, the last 9 were built on the 374 platted units, which is a standard, which is a huge deviation from the original development of regional impact. Nobody did anything about that; they just built it.
Who would put in the infrastructure such as the water and sewer for what you're proposing there in the marina area?
Oh, well, that's only taken a year and a half to right there. Actually, as part of our settlement agreement with the state of Florida, the DCA, what would be attached to the settlement agreement was a requirement that any and all expansion required to the existing plant for its own use, not for, to provide any other developers with expansion, would be provided by any future developers. So expansion for the wastewater and water treatment line plant would have to be supplied by the developer. There's already existing lines going down Birchwood, as you know, and there's already existing lines going down Oxbow. If those required, because of flow and hydrology, if those required any upgrades, it would be the responsibility of the developer.
Other comments?